Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV playthrough video. Today's the big one. We've finally reached the end of Stormblood as we complete 4.5, the finale of it all. I'm really excited for this one. It feels like it's been building up towards this point. And yeah, I can't wait to see how it all concludes. But a quick recap of last time with 4.4. We got news from Thancred that Alpha Node may be in trouble thanks to some unclear comms on their emergency link pearls, where we only were able to decipher one phrase: the burn. The burn, of course, being the massive white landscape sapped of all its ether, where we played as Alpha Node for a short period of time at the end of 4.3. So the Scions, accompanied by Lord Hian and Yugiri, made our way to the burn on our Yoles, making our way through the dungeon. That last boss was a doozy, by the way. And we emerged to find nothing but Garlean wreckage and no sign of Alfie. But interestingly, we did spot a large Allagan device, as noted by Y'shtola and those keen eyes. And as we thought things over back at the Doman Enclave, while leaving the ninjas to scour the burn for any traces of our young friend, Hian proposes creating an Eastern alliance, an attempt to unite the Domans, the Dalmaskins, and the Naxians against the Garlean Empire. Additionally, at that meeting, we discussed Y'shtola's observations that the etheric residue left by the large Allagan device that we spotted resembled that of Aziz La, leading us to the theory that it's a field generator large enough to create a huge barrier to help protect us from the Garleans. Old myths led us to another Allagan artifact, this time at the Azim Steppe, providing us a perfect opportunity to meet with our best waifus, Serena and Sadu, and have some fun with them. And also form an alliance with them and all that boring politics stuff. After doing our absolute best to try and please Sadu, and speaking of the burn, Magnai gets absolutely roasted hotter than an exaflare by this one from Y'shtola. Sorry, little son. Y'shtola activates the Allagan artifact, now allowing ether to freely flow to the burn once again, providing us with the potential energy to activate the shield. We then headed back to an alliance council in Alamigo to discuss our defensive strategies, until the Scions sitting at the table get hit with an excruciatingly painful headache, transporting us to some dark place with a voice speaking to us. The voice mentioned a looming calamity of light expunging all form and life, twin dooms, history must be changed, and
throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Whatever the hell that means. The voice fades, the pain releases, and as we come back to reality, we see Thancred collapse onto the floor, unmoving, and after examination by Kane Senna, she tells us that he's alive even though there's no sign of life, and that his soul has been called. In other words, his soul has been plucked from his body with no signs of life whatsoever. We soon return to the Rising Stones to speak with Urianger, expert on this kind of stuff, who tells us that he also had the same sort of experience, and after a short conversation with Y'shtola about the pockets of reduced etheric density that she had noted across different locations in Eorzea, we get hit with another excruciating headache, same experience, same voice, same instructions, except this time it takes two souls in Urianger and Y'shtola, leaving the Warrior of Light and Alisaie all alone and broken. Next up, we're back in the Imperial Palace, where Xenos, or whoever possesses his body, is trying to convince Varis to launch an assault on Alamigo. Unsuccessful in his convincing, Xenos leaves the room and another character enters as the music changes from the Garlean theme to some strange staccato strings. Introducing Solus, grandsire of Varis, Ashian, and founder of the Garlean Empire, created purely to sow chaos across the realm. As we finally round out the patch, we get more information on Shadowhunter and Alfie as they make their way through Garlean territory, stumbling upon a resistance encampment where everybody is dead, with no signs of visible wounds. It's then that Shadowhunter reveals that the Garleans have been working on a new gaseous weapon called Black Rose. And that's about where we left it off, because how else could you round off a patch if not with the prospect of chemical warfare and war crimes? But before we get into the big finale, if you haven't yet and you're enjoying these videos and you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, give this video a like as well if you're enjoying it. If you want to get involved, stay updated, or just hang out, head on over to our Discord channel. The link is in the description below. Can't wait to see you guys over there. And if you want to help support me and the channel, the best way to do that is by becoming a YouTube member and hitting the join button. I really appreciate you guys. You're all awesome. Thank you so much for the support. But yeah, It's time. Let's get into the finale.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left,
that's bad.
we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments, but the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring.
So they're not doing well.
Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle.
True, actually. I never thought about that.
And Elfino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Who the heck's this? Oh, Kryl! Hey! We still got one left.
Kryl! I did not think you well enough to travel.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me.
No.
Regardless of my personal circumstances.
What has Kryl been doing,
Yes,
though?
I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Kryl. We would welcome your insight.
I guess just recovering.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
I was about to say, wouldn't she be more concerned about Alfie? I would have thought she would have been like, let me go get him. But I guess not. Oh.
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
That particular
What does that look
announcement
like?
has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
That's true. Or at least
he
tried.
remains altruistic to a fault. But I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
Very true, very true.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened. Thanks to a certain someone.
Minfilia.
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh?
It's kind of
Right,
cute.
I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
It's kind of cute that Alfie gets embarrassed in front of the Warrior of Light. Like, I'm this big beacon of purity and righteousness. He looks up to me. Okay, hopefully Kryl can, like, do some shit. Figure this out. Oh, I know what that was. I just realized. God, I'm an idiot. It was Matoya's little ball thing. I knew Matoya would come into this at some point again.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep, except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yeah, a big black place of nothingness.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place,
Yeah?
it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Oh, that could be fun.
I wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's
We needed
no
a
reason not
Stola
to
for that,
try.
no?
I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Okay, let's go to the cave. Oh no, I can't fly. Fuck. Oh, I can. Okay, well, this is good. Oh, it's because I was in the town. I'm an idiot. I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. Oh yeah, she wasn't back yet. She never met Matoya. I wonder if she's gonna get
Come
mistaken
to disturb my peace again, have you?
for Alpha
I
Node.
hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems.
Good to see you, Matoya.
Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
All our friends are dead, Matoya.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders.
About you're still awkward.
Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she?
Oh, she's like,
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
damn right. Aw.
Right.
We gotta do that.
Let us see what we
Ooh.
can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell and cast my senses out from there.
Uh-oh.
What is it? Did you find them?
Well,
Wait, this doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
how's what possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't
Oh,
lose track
no.
of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the broodmother's daughter all over again.
So they're just lost to nowhere?
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But
where? Thanks, Alize.
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
So what do we do?
we're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. Pray, excuse me a moment.
Oh,
Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way.
what?
That was Lee's. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them.
Oh, how did
I'm sorry.
Why did
I
he get
realize
there?
we've barely begun here, but
What? Wasn't he in the middle of the
Go,
burn?
child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
All right,
let's be off
sounds
then.
good. What's this? What?
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Me too. I think I know what's going on. The world is dying, man. The ether. Oh, shit. It's the calamity. It has to be. Because that's what Y'shtola talked about as well. Areas being sapped of ether.
Took ill. Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on the thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
Do we not tell any of these guys about what the guy in the headache thing said? Did we not say, hey, he talked about a calamity, he talked about light and dark consuming whatever the hell? Did we not tell anyone? Because I feel like they would have worked it out by now. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. She'll do that, yeah. When Alphinaud is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. I kind of have a feeling we're about to go somewhere else. Like a completely new place. Continent, I don't know what it is. World, universe, reality. That's the feeling I get. We'll figure out a way and then we'll go there and maybe they'll be there. Hopefully. Everything's up for question now. It's like literally anybody could not be themselves. I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said. Unless, there's no point in speculating. Lise said she'd notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Alamecan Quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can about Alphinaud's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me. Okay, how did these guys get back? They were in the middle of the burn. Maybe they... Oh, I mean, Thancred was there, right? So maybe they just walked back like he did? So they'd be thirsty.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphinaud, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Did he know whether Alfie was dead or
again.
not?
Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphinaud?
What happened? Where is
Never
he?
fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
Okay.
You assume?
She doesn't believe him.
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain
Maybe.
events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the Burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians. This Shadow Hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphinaud, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
So we didn't get to see that part.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the Burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphinaud still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them.
Right. Mysterious man.
They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphinaud asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
Right.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
They're coming right here, right?
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
I know, it's been like 2 patches. Now we have to fight a war again. At least we might get some more cool cutscenes with Pippin. That was cool.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and
Let's
send word to
go.
our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on.
Okay. We're going
no
for
matter
it.
how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Consider
But I
it done.
can't fly in
We'll send
Doma.
word when...
When? Oh no, not again.
Untold sorrow must be changed.
Is this the time we die?
Looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
What does that mean? Why is he speaking in riddles? Why can't he just tell us? We're not dead.
You heard it too. Well, at least we're both still standing.
For now, I'm not sure how long we can keep this up.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
Which gate do I throw wide? Can you at least tell me that, mister?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
Maybe it's the gates at the big thing in Doma. We ain't sure, right? Those were big gates that can be thrown wide. Maybe it's that. Or the Alamigan one. Now I'm gonna be looking at every gate like, are you the gate? Why are we so... Is this just plot armor? Like we're just not weak to whatever this thing is, the calling? Because everybody else is dead. Like Ishtola, I would have thought would have had some sort of resilience to being called, right? So Alphino is safe, for the present at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. Right, that, yeah. There's never some downtime as a Scion. I'm actually glad Elise tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave. Now the furry's here. Oh, Tansui's here. Oh, Serina's here! Oh, hey. After their humbling at your hands, Magna and his Orinir have spent every waking moment upon the training fields. Defeat does not sit well with the son and his children. Missed you. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. Right, so we just burst into an alliance meeting. Alright. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the Steppe tribes. Sadu's not here though, which is unfortunate. We've also been joined by our neighbours from Naxia and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca, though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. By the way, we need you guys to fight in a war. And maybe die. I thank you for bringing me news of Alphinaud. His fate is never far away from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. I would help deflect that blow, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to the airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place. Wait, we haven't done it yet? The all-important Allegan energy barrier. Right. I thought we were going to move the barrier, though, at some point, but the energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps. Oh, not. Why'd you have to pick the one that I can't say? No. Cyru Aegis, or some such. Well, just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Azisla firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares. Alright. I'm dying to go to the burn. The burn. I will come too if you don't mind. Though I'm no Ishtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course, time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the War Council to a close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Where are the storms? As expected, Suino Sato failed to answer the call. Right, isolationists and all that. Not that I blame the Ruby Princess. Enlightened as she is reputed to be, it could be no easy task persuading her people to relinquish their long-held isolation. We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce. Bye, honey. No, no bye. This might be our last time. No, I'll go find Sadu then, I guess. I'm ready to take wing. Back to the burn. They're gonna put on a show for us. Is this gonna go wrong too? Are we gonna get something going right for us?
Have matters well in hand.
Don't
Should
say
the barrier
that, man.
work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders. Honored
Surely
friends,
nothing's gonna go wrong.
The time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Oh boy, what's gonna happen here? Is everything gonna explode? Are we gonna have like a mass death situation here? We should be hiding behind something. In a bomb shelter or something, man. We don't know this tech. This isn't our tech. This is too much. Oh my god! Oh, it worked!
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
Nice. I suppose it's Sid's crew. Oh yeah, I remember this. This was the thing.
Yards.
We tried to like
2,000.
poke through
3,000.
with the ship.
Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected.
Yet. What's gonna happen? Oh my god, I thought we were gonna put up a dome.
4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done
Holy
it.
shit. But what if they go over it? 5,000 yalms? What if they go 5,001? Yeah, where the fuck is Sid? He's just letting everybody else do the work?
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wool for us.
He's gonna be like a fly going into the electric fly swatter things. Oh shit. We're sorry, Mr. Garland. Get fucked.
Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
No. So does it mean that we can't leave either? Oh! What?
By the gods, it's Alphino.
Hello?
What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
What?
Lower the barrier!
What are they doing here? What happened to him, man? Did he get a headache as well? Because it didn't seem like he got them before.
Be at ease, girl. The lad is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
He talks. Did he talk in the No, he just talked. I had to voice him. Dang, okay.
No, not him too.
So he's joined them. Oh shit. Yeah, Ian was calling for a fireball? Yeah, we're glad. I retract the get fucked.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions.
What are the chances, though?
Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
He knows me. Word gets around. What is this mask? Wait. Gaius wore a mask? Hello? Did he? What?
Aye. Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished.
What? What? How? How did the fuck did he go? Where did he come from? He was dead. I killed you. The whole thing with La Habrea. This is him. Did he have a voice changer? 'Cause he did not talk like this in A Realm Reborn. He did not talk like this in A Realm Reborn. Let me tell you that much. You talk like this. New VA? Oh. Oh. I mean, we would have spotted him instantly if it was that voice. Well, that came out of nowhere. Wasn't he in the big place with the fire and the flames? He's probably gonna tell us. Let's hear what he has to say.
Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible. There's no way you could have survived.
Do you remember how it unfolded? How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea?
Oh. That part of the mask.
The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment at least. A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians.
He just crawled out?
The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge.
So he just has it out for the
My
Ascians.
principal quarry was to be La Hebrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion.
Yeah, he's dead. Or whatever dead means in this
But so
reality.
many more
I don't know.
remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the Scions not of like mind?
Maybe not as intense, but kinda, yeah.
In this single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-Masked Ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know.
Right.
Yet among the Red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source.
Set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Is he talking about, was the 13th or the 1st? Whatever one it is that got destroyed. That's where they came from, right?
Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source.
The Source? Man, we've gone back to that moment with Minfilia where she just info dumps on you and you're like, your mind just goes...
The first was La Hebrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
Emmet Selk.
We have files on La Hebrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us?
Yeah. So we have to kill him too.
As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit.
Right.
As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light.
Right.
Though many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. He's trying to get Varis to attack Alamigo, but he's kind of working for Solus. And Solus wants to bring about a calamity, so how's that bringing balance? I don't get it.
It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention.
Right.
They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Right. Yeah.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
I do.
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch.
Good work. I was about to call him Shadowhunter, but no, he's Gaius.
Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno C. Galvas.
Our buddy. Our good old buddy, old pal, old friend.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
He's not dead, Ian. Did we not tell you?
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized.
Cloning.
And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus.
Oh, right, because he got shot and then came back, I guess. Is that what they use it for?
All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor?
Well, we know.
I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland.
Oh, is he gonna take over the Empire again? Is this how this is all gonna conclude? And we're gonna have like new hot guy Gaius, Legatus of the Empire, or Emperor of the Empire. That could be cool.
It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
I don't want to fight him again. I don't want to fight him. More important stuff.
There was
I already
a time
beat you.
when I
Don't worry.
scorned those who placed their faith in false gods. Even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
Okay. Mystery man.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least.
Ian, all of this is unexpected. What the heck? As if we're just sitting out here, like, testing our new toy, and then this random ship comes, and not only is it our favorite new character, Shadowhunter, with Alphanode, but it turns out that he's actually Gaius van Belsar. Unexpected is putting it lightly, I think.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
Alfie's just been lying there in the back, like, Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. See you around. Oh, Serena's gone. Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak. I don't think they're going to be able to do much. I've spoken with the physician, and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphanode is lost in a sleep from which he cannot be awoken, just like the others. It seems that even the lands of the Empire were not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alize, I do, but Alphanode has returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to awake him. Until then, you can but fulfill your duties as a scion, yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made, and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know Seryu's wall works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we will send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magic, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea. a lengthy voyage for which the smaller vessels favored by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Aldernar Trading Company in finding suitable ships. As for navigating the distances in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely that our East Aldernar friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I'm certain they will afford Alphinaud a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a chirurgeon accompany him every ilm of the way to the Rising Stones. You have my thanks, Lord Ian. Yugiri, I will go on ahead with our friends to Alamigo. Enlist all those capable of teleportation and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. This is exactly what we'd hoped for. Elise and the Alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Alrighty. Let's hope the barrier holds up. Meanwhile, at the Black Rose chemical plant. Oh, they still need to make more?
Our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
So they did it all for nothing.
See that you do.
Oh, great. These guys are evil, man. Oh, look who it is.
The infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
Wow.
How very noble of you.
Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
Huh.
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect. Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence.
What? The gas should be most susceptible to the light's influence? What does that mean?
Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
He's had an idea. Oh no.
While you do what, precisely?
We get the weird music again.
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise.
Arthur Fist.
Our homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Are you truly so naive?
Yeah, I was about to say, he doesn't think that way.
You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design!
It was by design?
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed.
But why?
Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way. Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude.
Okay.
I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome. You dabbled in elegant cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research.
I love it,
And of
man.
all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varis. Like grandsire, like grandson, hey?
If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise.
Oh my god.
You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
What? Fraudulent existence? He is very Jokerish, you know? He's like the Joker. Wants to watch the world burn. He's such a character. There is like a weird like juxtaposition between him being grandfather but being in like a young body and then just being so exuberant in character. We must leave now to convene with Eorzea's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Hakuro, I leave. You're gonna leave the furry in command. Are you kidding me? Come on, Ian. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I just received word from Lys. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks, we're to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Pretoria who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Oh, we got the big table. Big table got transported at least. That's good. As always. Well, this one's 2 tables.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, while our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
Nice.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
You're thinking about Alfie.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news...
The bad news. He's dead. But not really, but basically.
So, Alphino won't wake up, Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal.
That's true, actually. We've become very resilient. We have... When you think about it, from A Realm Reborn to now we have like 16 different things going, like crazy different things that are going wrong with us, versus Realm Reborn, which was like 1 at a time. Pats on the back to the Warrior of Light for this.
Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it. As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varis Galvus would be attending.
Talks with the Varis?
The Emperor himself. Well, Varis did sanction the Popularis peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
Why? This is sketch. I don't like it.
Lise, you know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
Hey, Alize.
Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
She's gonna die too,
In case
isn't
you're
she?
wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Oh. Well, that answers that. I'm not fond of politics either, quite frankly, Lise.
Oh, you're not, are you? Come on, if Alize can put on a brave face, then so can you. Now, we don't know what Varis means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand should make all the difference.
I don't say much.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Perfect. Poor baby warrior of light. Yeah, I can do that thing, or the... That's pretty much my two modes of talking to anybody. Or I do the little sad face. They're very sus that they're asking for the Scions. Like, who else would be left? Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an emperor waiting for too long, shall we? I can't believe we're meeting with Varis just like this. This is a weird meeting place. Why did all the important people gather for this meeting? Where even Emmerich's here. We know they're using chemical weapons. We're literally all gathered in one place. This is the worst strategic decision of all time. They could defeat the entire alliance right now.
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Garlean Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you.
She's very formal today.
As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue.
Marley and her cannons.
Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment, You need only
Yes.
set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
Somehow I don't think he's going to take this deal. I don't think they're going to jump from chemical weapons to, yeah, okay.
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
The citizens of Doma can also attest to the meager arms of Imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
Oh, he knows. I feel, yeah, because he'd never wanted
order
this.
and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
He's playing the part of the talking head right now, but he knows.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
Tell him, Rauban.
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Achieved? What exactly has the
Your
Empire
Radiance.
achieved?
I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor.
True.
For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise.
As in Nidhogg?
You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end.
And he's dead. So. Yeah.
Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people.
I'd say they're doing pretty good.
There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found
Damn,
it.
that was a loud
and
voiceover.
from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers?
He has a bit of a point. I guess. At least on this issue.
I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty.
I guess in some ways it's like he does have a point with like land and whatever else, like ownership of land, but I guess it's in pursuit of power more than anything else, because as Sen is saying is they would be welcome to go there and stuff, but they don't own it. It's a power grab, it's power moves, which begs the question, like, where does that end?
Would that your people might learn from their example.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing.
Well, good meat.
Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
I see it coming. Oh no.
Wait! I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here. Please. If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
As Mistress Alize says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future.
I told you I would just be sitting here. I'm just sitting here like... Yeah, good point, yeah. I'm just like...
Emperor Varis, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
Yeah, we'll take a quick little 5-minute smoke break. Come back. Hopefully no headaches. I'm literally the only person here who has not said a word. Just want to point that out. Yet they requested me there. Why? Oh, we're actually here. Oh shit. Ah, I wanted to explore. To be fair, she was the only one staying on track, right? She addressed the fact that, hey, we are here to like talk about today, not the past, not any of that other stuff. She's doing good, I think. Phew, this is really not my forte. You're doing good, Alize. You're doing better than like almost anybody else here. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. See? I just asked myself what Alphanode would have done. I tried my best to do the same. Aww. And by some miracle it worked. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man. Nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Mayhap they have some insight to share. 12 have mercy, but for Lady Alize's timely interjection, we might well have come to blows at the negotiating table. Not that Emperor Varis left us a great many options. Is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think? Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes, but having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind. Exactly, he's building up to something, I know it. How then should we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light? Finally! I guess maybe the best thing is to play it on his terms. And then if it doesn't go right, we talk about the Ashuns. You believe he is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at his ease? I do. Mayhap you're right. Thank you too. I will say one thing for this Varis, he is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The Conqueror would know his enemies. All should know their enemies, yet there is much more we do not know of the Empire. Again, I think we go with the please him angle. And get it out of him. Ha! You'd have me ask the Emperor himself? Well, mayhap there is some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. Always with the fucking boat references, man. This parlay was never like to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varis' relationship with the Ashians. As had we all, yet, if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the fact, and if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would that I knew more of the man. If you would indulge me, Lord Hain, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all of Garlemald, nor else in the heavens. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of his Radiance's own person. I'll not interrupt their conversation. Oh, I interrupted their conversation. I share your disdain for their hypocrisy. Even as they denigrate the idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervour others reserve for the divine. 'Tis a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed us. Logical on the surface perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varis to reveal something. We're playing like political RPG right now. You've spoken with everyone then? Good. Now all that remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor, and hope we fare better at the second attempt. We're gonna strike a deal.
Then, who would have the floor?
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affairs surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
Why don't you
I think all
tell
here
us?
can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
Right.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the Burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
Interesting.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Is he gonna tell us?
Finally, you ask the right question.
We're in.
I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause. My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be.
Is he talking about the balance? Is he speaking for Solus again?
In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more. No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rorga's name are you talking about?
I am talking about the origins of this star, of the source and its 13 reflections. At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections. That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother.
I feel like he's generalizing here, because we don't do that. Only you, bud.
You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined.
The rejoining, says the guy killing others. Yes, but we do it as a response. Like, we don't look on them and go, we don't pick them out of a crowd and go, we're gonna kill you today.
That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
A rejoining of worlds.
What does that even mean, though? Hunting log. Okay, that's kind of true. Okay, yeah. But isn't there some lore reason behind the hunting logs for the Grand Companies? Isn't there, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to find justifications for it, okay?
I have heard this tale of the Source and its reflections before.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Emperor Varis, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing.
So he's admitting that.
But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Gallian Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
Oh, big reveal. None of us know that, but...
What?
I do.
Yes. My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters, when the prize is true and lasting peace?
How do you know, though? Finally, I speak. Your prize is a lie, your masters, demons. Yeah, like, how does he know they're telling the truth?
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence. Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard.
Heard this before.
An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs. We would be the masters of our own fate. I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
But, you see, I bet there has to be some power structure to it, right? This perfect race in this utopian world. The freedom for ourselves. He keeps talking in plural, ourselves, like we are all the same. But surely, one of these fuckers is gonna want to be the head guy. And that's where it all falls apart.
Another half-dozen calamities. You can't be serious.
Oh yeah, Raban was there.
Have you
and so was
forgotten how
Merle.
many died? There will be no one left.
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable. Unconscionable.
Kind of crazy that they were there as well. Wait,
And what is the alternative?
To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together, that we might take fate into our own hands.
Into your hands, perhaps.
Right.
But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
Seems like he's just given up.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler? The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varis, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another.
Nanamo.
While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation. That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible.
True.
Such a man is not fit to govern.
Oh! Ho ho!
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
What do you think? You invited me here and then didn't even say hi. These really weren't the aggressive options I wanted, but which is the I cannot condone such a loss of life. I wanted to say fuck you, bro. Nanamo got me feeling that way.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
Yeah.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me. Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages. This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
We're going to war. Again. I guess. Bonk. Okay, wow. That was intense. Not intense. Intense. The feeling of intensity. It was in a tent, though. Yes.
At last, I found you.
What?